and welcome back. It is disgustingly muggy and hot here in Massachusetts. We just had rain for the past 3 days and it feels like summer for real right now. And to think that we are starting flowers to plant out this fall to harvest in the spring is crazy. But it makes me so excited for the spring season. So today we are going to be starting Sweet Williams or Dianthus. I did this last year and had great success with them. I'm going to be starting some series now, and then I will be starting the Amazon series later in the winter and spring to plant out because that will bloom its first year. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm located in Western Massachusetts, Zone 6A, and this is my second year selling flowers at my roadside flower stand, and I absolutely loved Dianthus. It was such a great filler flower, and I had lots of pinks and purples. So this year we are going to be adding a lot of new varieties, and I'm very excited to do so. So I have two places that I ordered my seeds from. We have the Gardener's Workshop, and then as always, Johnny's Selected Seeds. So from the Gardener's Workshop, I purchased her Sweet Coral and the Sweet White. I really wanted to add some white flowers because I will be doing a wedding in the spring, or actually early summer, so early June. And Sweet Williams will be around that time. So I'm very excited to add some white and coral so not everything is pink. And then I also got a white variety from Johnny's. It's the Sweet White as well. I purchased the Volcano Mix, Barcelona Pink, and the Sweet Pink as well. And then we'll add in the Amazon series, which did bloom later compared to the ones that I started in the fall. So with Cool Hardy annuals, it's kind of like a little bit of math that you need to do ahead of time. And I'm kind of a little bit late, but I also wanted to plant out later than I did last year. So my average first frost date is going to be mid-October. And it was actually like 3 days before last year. It was, I think, like October 11th or 12th. And you want to get all of your flowers planted out about 4 weeks before your average first frost date. Then once you have that date, you want to backtrack anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. So that way you can start your seeds and they will be big enough so you can plant them out when it's cooler, and then they can grow on until your frost. I also am going to be using frost cloth this year, so that way they will have a nice little cozy space until we get some snowfall. So with my calculations, for planting out 4 weeks before my average first frost date, 6-week mark, I need to start them by August 4th, which is going to be in 3 days. Today is August 1st, by the way. And 8 weeks is July 21st. And I wasn't able to do any seed starting last weekend with my vendor event, but we did start Campanula 2 weekends ago, and they have a really good germination rate. Oh, and Rebecca as well. I'm going to try and see if I can get some delphinium to maybe survive. I'm going to start some possibly tomorrow. You're supposed to do that 10 to 12 weeks ahead of time. So I'm only going to start like maybe a tray, and then we'll start the rest of them this winter. So with Sweet Williams, it can take anywhere from 7 to 14 days to germinate. They want to be at about 65 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. For when you are trying to germinate them, I do put a humidity dome on top as well. And I make sure every day to check in the morning and at night when I turn the lights on, just to make sure that it's nice and moist, so that way the seedlings have the best chance of germinating. So I will just use a mister that I absolutely love. So I'll mist it if I feel like the soil is getting too dry, but I at least mist it once a day. So with Sweet Williams, you want to start them anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. So we are going to be right on that. And then you do need to lightly press them into the soil. And I did find my vermiculite, of course, after I ordered some more. So I will be topping them off with vermiculite as well. And then when reading the back of the seed packet, it says to avoid temperatures above 65 degrees. So my basement does not get that warm, luckily. And it says cool temps of 50 to 55 degrees to keep them low growing. I do remember mine last year got pretty warm. So that's why I want to plant them out a little bit later. I did mid-August last time, which I felt like was just way too early. So I don't want to plant things out until maybe Labor Day weekend or maybe a little bit after that. And then I can keep frost cloth on them. But actually last year I didn't do anything until I would say once the snow melted, then I would put some frost cloth and I just laid it on top. There was no hoops or anything, and they did all amazing. So definitely going to do that. I'm doing mine in 128 cell count trays. And then I normally do 72. So I hope they'll do good in the smaller trays. Because like I said, if I can get some delphinium started and get that going and do a Hail Mary with that, that would be great. So I already have my trays ready to go. I have Pro Mix. It is all packed in. So I'm going to make sure I try and get 1 seed per cell, top it off with vermiculite, and then spray it in, and then we'll get it on the heat mat. But last time it didn't even really turn on, so I think it'll be fine even without it because it's really cool in the basement. So I am going to push the camera back and we will get started. Okay, so we are going to be ready to go. I won't be able to fill the whole entire tray, so I might see if I have like extra Rebecca or something that I can use. So then that way I'm not just wasting all of these extra cells. So we will get to that. So we are going to start with our Sweet Williams that are pelleted, and then we will work our way over to the ones that are nuts. So we have Sweet White, and that is going to be from the Gardener's Workshop. I'm going to plug it in. And it says just to make sure that you press lightly and not to cover with soil. So easy enough. But I still will use some vermiculite. All right, let's see here. So I'm just going to dump these out. And these are going to be the pelleted seeds. So the little yellow coating on it, which makes it super easy to see where it is. Look. Look at that. I broke it open by pressing on it too hard, I guess. And then I even got 2. Oh boy, there's 3 in there. And I definitely don't want to have 2 in it just because I'm using such a small tray. So when I was ordering, you know, I was like, you know what, I really wish I had delphinium. I really wanted some blue spikes, flowers, anything blue at this point. I just wanted to add in. And knowing that I can't plant them out until sometime in October, it makes it a little bit tricky to see if I can even have it possible or not for them to be planted out. I don't have a set date yet. I just know that I'm penciled in for the fall, but I'm trying to hopefully push it back till after our first frost because I want to harvest as many flowers as I can for as long as I can, and the equipment will have to go where my dahlias are and over a lot of my warm-loving annuals. So we'll see how that works. But Dianthus was such a great addition. I'm so happy that I started them last year. I'm probably going to start a lot more. I just loved when they all bloomed. My yard was beautiful. So I have not had a second flush from them. The ones that I cut first. So the ones that I fall planted, long, beautiful stems that I was able to put in all of my wrapped bouquets. However, I have not had a second flush. I was hoping I might be able to. Who knows? There's still a lot of green growth, but they're not super tall. So we will see. I had like 1 rebloom and it was maybe 4 inches tall. I'm like, well, can't really use that. All right, so we just finished the Sweet White, and then I'm going to do the coral ones. And we'll see how far we get. So you can see all of the little dots. It's super simple. And then it does say to plant them out 6 to 9 inches apart. I will tell you, I definitely did not do that. I probably planted them 4 inches, 5 inches maybe apart. I like to plant everything super close because I was very limited on space and I wanted a lot of stuff to be planted in that limited space. So I want to say I did about 4 inches and they did totally fine. Totally fine. No issues whatsoever. So I'm going to be doing that again. So I know it says 6 to 9. I don't think I would plant them that far away. All right. So I'm just going to keep on going with this, and then I will check back in with you when it's time to add the vermiculite. I like to mist them first to help break that seed coating down. And then I will add the vermiculite, and then I will also spray water on it one more time just to make sure that everything has good contact with the soil, especially the vermiculite because it's like so powdery and fine. Oh boy, where'd that one go? Stuck to my finger. I will just mist them in again. So we are going to just keep at it, and I will see you in a few seconds. So, you know what I love is a good aha moment. So I was running out of space and I still have like a third of the thing left over. And then I remembered that I purchased in bulk some Sweet Williams for all of the ones that I planted last fall. I'm like, I know I had some left over. I remember bringing it to a winter sewing workshop that I did at my town library. And I found it. So this was a 500 seed pack. It is just a total mix. And I'm going to probably do another tray worth. So I'm going to continue the tray that I have right now. And I'm going to do another one. And maybe I will just double seed because these seeds are maybe a year or two old. I can't remember when I bought them, but I am so excited because love Sweet Williams. We're going to plant them in the raised beds behind me. Probably once the sunflowers are done, I will have the Sweet Williams will go there because I want all my Cool Hardy annuals to be over here. Just because it'll make it so much easier when it comes time to putting frost cloth on and off. Dianthus should be done at some point. I have Larkspur that we are going to be direct sowing, or Leia we're going to try this year. Definitely my Love 'em in a Mist that we will be doing. I have to clean that bed out because it's pure weeds right now. So yeah. So I'm super excited. So I'm going to finish this tray off, and then we are going to do a whole nother tray because I really don't need any more than 75 delphinium. I'm going to be lucky if I can get them to Germany. I tried one year and had no luck. I had great results winter sowing them in the milk jugs, but obviously won't be doing that until a few months from now. So I am going to keep at it. So excited when you have extra seeds, you remember. So I'm going to keep going and yeah, catch you in a second. So this is where we were. I put a little cap there. I figured, you know what, we'll just finish this tray together. And I want to get vermiculite on a Sweet William mix. And again, today is August 1st. I cannot believe it. I have 2 more weeks of camp. And then we are going to be taking 2 weeks off before we head back for the new school year. These are very tricky. You have to do them. Normally, if it was in a different one, I might tap it, but you know what? I'm just going to sprinkle hopefully 1 in at a time. I can't believe I have so many. And that mix right there from Etsy probably cost me like $3 compared to the amount that I paid from the Gardener's Workshop and Johnny's, but they were still beautiful and I did not have a preference. I do want to make sure, as I said, I have white because I am going to be doing a wedding, which I'm very excited to do in June. So let's see. I'm probably getting 2 in per cell right now, just rolling them off the top of my finger. You could also do a toothpick if you would like. I just don't have the patience for it. And I'm usually one to overseed, except overseeding in these small trays is probably not the best practice. So I could have done 72 cell count trays, but oh well, too late. While I have you right here, let's do the vermiculite. I just purchased mine off of Amazon. I think it's like Fairy Morris. It's not as fine of a course as what I had. I really enjoyed the burpee variety, but I'm going to just mix everything in. and move my seeds out of the way so they don't get wet. And baby monitor. All right. So I'm just going to give them a really good water. I should have mentioned too that the Pro Mix potting soil that I'm using has also been pre-moistened as well. So as you can see, even though I sprayed, they are still intact, that coating. I'm just going to go over them one more time, get them really wet. All right, good enough. And then we're going to sprinkle the vermiculite and then add water one more time. And this is just going to help with moisture control. It's not going to be as bad now that I'm in my basement, I feel like, compared to when I was in my bedroom. If you are new, I used to have all of my seed starting in my master bedroom. And we have these huge windows and it would get very warm very fast in there. And we didn't have like the air set anything cool while we were gone. So I would have issues with some like algae growth, but it didn't affect really anything. Even my Dianthus that were taking their sweet old time growing, which I am still waiting for them all to really start blooming, but I was able to get a few stems this week. All right, that is pretty good. Okay, and then we're just going to get this so that way it just doesn't fly away later when I'm transporting it down to the basement. Everything should have good contact with the soil. I'm going to finish this next one and then we're going to do a whole nother tray. So that's amazing. All right, and just like that, our Sweet Williams or Dianthus is all done. I am going to put them downstairs in the basement. Again, I will put a humidity dome on top, and I will have lights on to get them to germinate. It doesn't say they need light to germinate on the seed packet, but it also says not to cover with soil. So I'm just going to put the lights on anyways. I didn't even go back to my old video and see what I did, but I think they'll be just fine. So we'll have them between 65 and 72 degrees, and then hopefully within a week or two, we will have some germination. So hopefully in a few weeks, I will have an under the grow light video to show you how everything is doing. So if you would like to stay tuned and see how everything is going with seed starting for the roadside flower stand, please make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you all next time. Happy gardening. Bye.